Good morning, Kabroda crew. Welcome back. Hopefully y'all are doing well today. We're back in it for another day on the markets. We had a little bit of a spike up yesterday. I think right after the live. Yeah, right after the live stream kind of ended, we had a spike up. Almost looks like we might turn and go to that long direction like we were kind of talking about on the live yesterday. And then right after that, we kind of just broke down. There's an FOMC meeting a little bit later in the day, and yeah, that kind of just continued us down after that. I believe it was actually pretty close to when we spiked. I don't know. I didn't really look. I just heard about the FOMC meeting. So yeah, kind of some random price action when that happens. Maybe not random, but there's definitely some volatility that comes into the market whenever that kind of stuff happens, because that yeah, we kind of spiked down and then we just continued down the rest of the day. Didn't go down too far, nothing crazy. If you go check out our recap coming out here at 10, you'll be able to see kind of why we weren't able to really jump into this, or why this trap could have faked out some people and stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead and check that out if you are interested in learning or anything like that. Just learning about some TA, learning about our system, just seeing our system in action, anything like that, go check that out. Definitely worth a watch. So yeah, it's coming out here at 10. But yeah, welcome to everybody. Hopefully y'all are doing well, and good morning to y'all. We'll see how today goes. We are in some pretty crazy fear. Like Spirit Maker kind of commented, first comment of the day, he's kind of saying it's looking like there's some fear in the air, and I would agree with that. So we'll actually go check out the fear and greed here in a minute and see where we're at on there, and then we'll kind of jump in. Yeah, just setting up the charts. I'll say this again at the end of the stream, but we kind of talked about this yesterday, but this will be the last stream at this 8 o'clock time slot. We're actually going to be moving to 8:30, so we're a little closer to when price action kind of starts to move, just typically. So yeah, we'll be moving to then, and we'll be starting our streams at 8:30 from basically now on. Obviously not today, but starting next week. So yeah, that's kind of where the markets are looking at. We're almost at the low of yesterday right now, kind of starting out. We haven't really broke the 60K level, so I would say we're still kind of trading sideways as far as being right under the crypto winter line that we've been talking about here at 70,000, 71,000 almost. So we'll see what happens here. There's still a possibility we get to the break to the upside, kind of flip the direction, go up, especially with how I'm pretty sure fear and greed is at right now. I know like during after this spike, we kind of dropped pretty low in fear and greed. I believe one of the lowest times of fear and greed ever, if not the lowest ever. And we've kind of stayed in that, I believe. So we'll check it out. But I'm pretty sure we'll be pretty low. If that's the case, then more than likely we are going to kind of retest this line again, break through it, and then continue to the upside and start a little bit of an up run, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see as we jump into that. That indicator you just saw there is something we're actually working on. So hopefully you guys will be able to use it some point soon. Yeah, it looks like we might be getting a breakdown below that previous low yesterday. So kind of in a little bit of a downtrend here on the shorter time frames. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's jump on over. This is our Kabroda site, but we're gonna head to the fear and greed index. Coin market caps. Looks like we are at an 11. Last week we hit an 5 or an 8, and then on February 5th we hit a 5. So pretty crazy. We've definitely dropped pretty low. I'm pretty sure that is the lowest we've ever been. So I mean, yeah, here's all time. No, this is not all time at all. I guess since they've been tracking it, it's low. But yeah, we are at an 11, so pretty extreme fear. And you can't really see it because it's behind me, but there you go. We're at an 11, so pretty extreme fear here. Basically, what that means is the market kind of has some different zones. So you got extreme greed, you got greed, neutral, fear, and an extreme fear. Anything in greed is kind of starting to tell you that people are getting overly bullish, I guess you could say. So in greed, people are kind of starting to get bullish, and then extreme greed, people are just like, oh man, I want Bitcoin. Everybody's jumping into Bitcoin. It's gonna go to the moon. Like, people are starting to get crazy about everything about Bitcoin. And then neutral would be kind of that neutral zone between the two. So we're kind of sideways, really. Typically, you kind of see that between the runs. Like, we don't, I mean, I guess we probably stay there for, I would say majority of the time, I guess, we're neutral. But we're kind of like, we break down and then you kind of break back up to neutral. So it's kind of that like point of control type zone, where you'll see price action break either into the greed or the fear, and then we'll come back and go back to that neutral zone and kind of sit there for a little bit and then get down into whatever. Typically, though, whenever you see extreme greed or extreme fear, that's when you're going to see a shift in the market, and we'll flip and start going to the other side. We kind of had one, when was this? Back last year, I guess, back in November, and then December we kind of ran up a little bit. So interesting, though, we are back here now in February, back into the extreme fear again, and we even kind of came up into neutral before going back down. So pretty crazy there. But typically, yeah, when you see extreme fear or extreme greed, you're basically just gonna be in it maybe for a little bit, and then you'll drop back down into the neutral and typically continue at least somewhat into the fear. As you can see here, we dipped up and then broke back down. I guess here we didn't go as far, but you know, we're pretty low in the extreme fear, so it is pretty interesting, I guess, how low we are. We'll see what happens here, but more than likely, this is kind of telling us we're at least starting to find the bottom, if not already found the bottom, and starting to see that flip. So things are kind of pointing up. We'll see what happens. Like we said, we need to break that line. If we don't break that line, we could continue down, and it doesn't necessarily mean, if it's more fear, it doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin's going down. I'm not saying that, like, if it's going up we're gonna get fear, but like, we could start to climb out of the fear by trading sideways, or maybe even trading down. Like, that's probably less likely, but fear just means that, like, it's just basically people's opinions of the chart. So it could really technically go either way, depending on how people are thinking about Bitcoin. So yeah, kind of interesting, something to keep an eye on, and just a little bit more hope, I guess, that we're going to continue to the upside. Like we said, though, we do need to break that crypto winner line in our investment indicator here, that 70,000, 571,000 area. Kind of need to break through that, get a close above it, retest it, and then continue to the upside before we see anything real crazy happen. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and start up our session control for today. Oops, we already got it up and running here, and we got our coins picked. So if you want to change that, you can go ahead and change that to whatever you'd like. And we also got our session. Our targeted session is the New York futures for today. That's the time zone we're in. That's the time zone we're going to trade, or time zone we're trying to trade, I guess. And we'll go ahead and hit that initiate calibration zone here. And now you can see our levels are populated down here. So if you've been on the stream before, you know what these all mean. Daily resistance, daily support. We got breakout trigger, breakdown trigger. They're all just different forms of support and resistance. If you don't know what that is, I believe we have some videos covering that on our channel, but just a quick rundown. It's basically just a point in the chart where we'll see price action having some sort of just kind of like hesitation, or just slowing down. Could it be like a rejection? It could be a slowdown. It could be somewhere that we break through and then come back and retest. It could really be anything. Well, not anything, but just like any kind of point in the chart where you see some sort of hesitation, or where the chart just kind of slows down and thinks about it before it breaks through that level. Typically that's because humans are trading the charts, so humans are going to have certain levels that they think about, or they're putting their stops at, or they're trying to get into at, or anything like that. So basically what we do is we use math to figure out those levels, and then we use those to trade. It's essentially what we do. That's essentially what our system is built off of, is some different support and resistances that we have on the chart. So our breakout and breakdown trigger are kind of our triggers for if we're going to take the trade or not. So if we break down out of the breakdown trigger, then we take the short. If we break out to the upside, then we'll take the long. It kind of depends also on some different factors. I mean, that's kind of just the different. It's kind of just the different. I don't even know. I don't know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, though. Oh, sorry. There's more to our system. We're not just looking for the breakdown or the breakout. Obviously, that's the main part of our system, but that's the very basics of our system. There's a little bit more that goes into it than just breakdown, breakout. So occasionally you'll see us maybe take it when you're like, well, it broke down like 3 candles ago on it broke the trigger 3 candles ago, but there's certain stuff that we need to see before we'll take the trade. And so you can see that as we continue to trade. And then the daily support and daily resistance are basically just to figure out the gaps there. If the gaps are there, that kind of tells you how the chart's going to behave today, really, if you can read the gaps. And we will have some videos and stuff coming out pretty soon on the gaps, and explaining our system a little bit more, explaining how to use all this stuff on our website, stuff like that. So just stay tuned for that. Keep watch for it. It will be coming out. All right, moving back to our chart here, we're going to go ahead and throw our stuff in our indicator so you guys can use this indicator as well. It's not this indicator exactly. I do have a newer version we've been working on. If I open up my indicators here, this is the one you guys will be using, Kabroda BattleBox command renderer. That's the one you'll want to use to throw your lines of the chart like this. Looks like we have not a good day today, just honestly based off these lines. And how I can tell that is that we have our lines that we were talking about earlier. So they're actually the same color on the site as they are on the indicator. So we got our green one here, which if you remember from the site, that'll be our breakout trigger. Right below it is our daily resistance in red. Well, like I said earlier, there's gaps in between them. So in between the breakout here and the daily resistance is a gap. We only have a 0.04% gap, so not a good gap. Do you want to look for something higher, I believe, than 1? Yeah, I believe it's than 1. I don't remember. You don't have to know for sure what the gaps are. You can use our market radar here on our website, so we'll actually check that out. I'll show you guys how to use this. So from the operator suite, we're going to go over to the market radar, open it up, and then you can see today we got some different trades. So kind of interesting. We actually got a bullish on ETH and Sol. So interesting there, actually, how we got those. Even though they aren't technically trades, we don't have any trades today that we were able to take. It is interesting that they flipped to that bullish side. So yeah, maybe that is a forerunner there for what Bitcoin is going to do here pretty soon. But yeah, definitely looking to break nowhere. Like, we don't have any kind of break. We're looking for more of that. We're looking to stay inside of those lines really today. Basically, though, if you read this BTC, we got a 0.14% gap on the downside because we're looking at that bearish side over here on the side. So there's 0.14%. It's a jailbreak. That just means it technically is a better trade. It typically means you can go to the higher targets or lower targets, I guess, depending on which way you're trading. For today, it would be lower targets. But it just means that the support or the resistance, obviously if you're on the top side, but for the support, it just means that the support is on the inside of the breakdown trigger, or the resistance is on the inside of the breakout trigger if you're trading the upside. But since it's on the inside, it's still measuring the gap, but now we call it a jailbreak instead of, I believe, what is the one to the downside called? It's called, I don't remember. We've kind of changed the name recently. We were calling it a magnet trade, and it might still be, yeah. I don't remember. We'll have to see in the live streams coming up. But this is a jailbreak though when it's on the inside like this, and you basically can just measure the gap. Same thing as last time, but it's a 0.14, so really nothing. It's not high enough to really continue down. Could it still break out? Yes, it still could break out, but our system is basically saying even if it does break out, it's not going to be a great breakout, and it's not going to be something that you're going to want to jump into. And even our top side, and real quick, I guess thing to note is for the market radar, it is going to show you whatever is most likely to happen. So, and it's always going to stick with whatever the current weekly bias is. So for this week, obviously the weekly bias is going to be more of that bearish side. So that is why Bitcoin is staying down there on the market the market radar. So yeah, that's basically why we're looking to the downside. There could be a possible uptrade still, and that's not out of the cards. It just means it's just not going to tell you that, because even if there is a possible upside trade and it's setting up and the gap looks nice and everything is setting up nicely, the likelihood of it playing out without the weekly bias being more in your favor is actually pretty low. And well, it's not like super low, but it is lower, like a decent amount lower than if you have the wind at your back kind of idea. So it's not that it won't go up, it's just more that it is a lot harder, and it kind of takes a little bit more of an advanced trader to kind of trade it and know when to get out and how to trade the whole thing. So overall, we just decided it's actually better, and we kind of did some research on it, some back testing and stuff like that too. It is actually better in general to, unless you're obviously more advanced and a little bit better at knowing how to trade and knowing how to kind of change up, maybe taking some, maybe like moving stops, or being able to know when to just jump out, when to stay in, different things like that kind of factor into it. That makes it more advanced. But if you just took them normally, it's actually a lot better to take only ones with the wind at your back. and that means with the weekly bias. So that's why we set up the market radar to be more leaning on that bias. So whatever the bias is, that's the way that the market radar is going to tell you to trade. But yeah, really nothing for today, nothing interesting. We're really looking sideways for most of the day is basically what it's saying. We don't have any trades set up today, excuse me, just based off of the gaps that are right here. And like I said, we'll be coming out with some different PDFs and videos and different things covering the gaps and just how to kind of looking at yeah, so we'll have to kind of see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of a boring day today. Another boring day, I guess. The whole week kind of been boring. Just not a very exciting week. A lot of sideways action this week. A lot of boring price action. Or like we said, we're kind of in that middle ground. We're looking to turn around. There's a possibility that we continue down and we get more in that crypto bear weather, crypto winter level. We get more into that crypto winter kind of area and we start to continue to trade down. But as of right now, all signs are kind of pointing to flipping to the other side. Even though, you know, I guess not all, but majority of signs are kind of flipping to the other side. I mean, and there's signs that are technically, they look like they're flipping, or they're telling us that we're going to continue down, but we're actually going to flip up. And that's like stuff like, you know, on X, you scroll through X, everybody's thinking we're going to drop down. You scroll, and that's all it has to do with the fear, right? I mean, you're looking at the fear. You know that people are scared. People are worried about dropping to zero. People are worried about breaking 60K again and continuing down. So, you know, like, that's not off the table. I'm not going to say it is, but the likelihood of us flipping and going to the upside is pretty likely. So, yeah, just stick around, check it out. Once the market starts to move in more of a direction, our system's going to kick in. We're going to be making some money. So, get in while we're not, I guess is what I'm going to say. Jump into our website, jump into our YouTube channel, check us out, get to know as much as you can, because once this market starts to move, we're going to be making some money and we're going to be moving. So anybody that's coming with us is going to want to jump on the train pretty soon. Yeah, and that's to say too, like, as the market starts to move and stuff starts to kind of take off, you know, all of our stuff is more than likely gonna go up in price. We probably will keep some of the people that are, I mean, I don't know how we'll do it. We'll see, but you know, our pricing is probably gonna move up. So you want to get in now, kind of figure it out and see how we're doing. Maybe even, you know, in the future we'll decide we want to keep a lot of our like legacy people at the same price and only move up the new people. So yeah, you probably want to jump in now. Check us out. Definitely you want to learn about what we're doing and how to use our system, so that way you can be on the ride up with us. But yeah, that's really it. Another short stream today. There's nothing really going on as far as the market. Unfortunately, I can't do too much more. We kind of set up our system here, talk about it a little bit, and typically we'll kind of wait for that trade to happen. But you know, today it's not really anything crazy. So I don't want to waste any of your time. I don't want to take your time away from you. So like I said, just enjoy your day. Maybe do something else for today, because there's really nothing happening. Could we break down? Could we break out? Yeah, that's always in the cards. Our system is just telling us, hey, it's going to be a junky day. Just stay out of the market. And, you know, all you got to do when you're trading is listen to your system. The people who follow their system are the people who make money. So it's really that easy. And I mean, that's not really easy, I guess, but it's that easy to think about, that easy to do. It is hard to follow your system when you see the price continuing down or breaking out like you were thinking it was going to, but trading your system is where you make money. And I can tell you that honestly, because I know both me and Spirit Maker have lost money just because we are trying to learn how to trade just based off of how we thought the market was doing, or some new indicator we found, or you know, you name it. Like, we have had a lot of different things that we've tried and a lot of different things that have not worked out for us. So I can tell you truthfully and honestly, following the system is the way to do it. Might not be our system, but following a system is the way to do it. So if you don't already have a system, get a system. Even use ours. We got it up here. This is what we've been working on. This is what we've been building. And yeah, we're looking to ride up the train here as the market starts to flip. So yeah, thank you for watching again. Thank you for coming and checking out our channel. Make sure you subscribe and like our channel, or like this video, I guess. And then hit that bell notification if you can. That'll just get you on the notifications so you can find our videos when they come out real easily, or just get notified that we are live or anything like that. Like I said, next week, remember, we will be live at that 8:30 time slot on Tuesday. So don't forget, it's 8:30 instead of 8. We'll be on a little bit later. And that's, like we said, is just mostly to change kind of the time when we jump on, just because that way we have a little bit of time to set up, and then the predator candle will actually be closed at 8:45. So yeah, we'll just have it all kind of set up and nice and ready to go in there. And then after that, that'll really be it. So like I said, yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we will see you all next week. Happy trading to y'all, and enjoy your weekend.